IVM.
Hey guys, even though Elon Musk is trying to turn everyone into robots, you'll be happy to know that very real human beings work at IVM Podcast, and some of them are even cool. How do I know? Well, listen to their own podcast, IVM Likes, where they recommend what they are listening to, watching, or reading. Catch IVM Likes every Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And may I recommend the IVM Podcasts app? Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of the Geek Food Podcast. My name is Tejas, and with me today is Jishnu. Hi Jishnu.
Hello.
Hey man, how's it going? What's happening?
Not much.
Okay, so there's a lot of information that's happened in the world of Marvel, specifically their cinematic universe and otherwise. We deliberately did not do an update on the San Diego Comic-Con 2019, the events and all the happenings at it, because we didn't want to just do it in a bulletin. We felt there was so much information specifically in their Hall H panel that we wanted to dedicate an entire episode to it and our hot takes as well.
But then I showed up late, and now it's going to be a shorter episode.
It's not going to be that short. It's fine. It's okay. We will take our time. Okay, we've been here. We were the third podcast ever. Okay, at IVM. So I think that we have earned some
3 minutes overtime. Okay. Let's just
so
dig in
Jishnu,
straight.
the format is as such. You are going to read out all the things, and then we'll discuss them. That's it. That's all I have.
I like it.
Yeah.
Short and to the point.
Cool.
Black Widow, May 1st, 2020.
Well, did they do it in the order of? They didn't do the announcements in the chronological order, right? I saw the entire thing.
The presentation order? No,
yeah, the presentation order was not.
I don't know.
But we're doing it chronologically. Yeah. So the big part
That's
of
what matters to us.
was Feige announcing Phase 4, and it was only 2 years. It was only 2020 and 2021. I can't believe those are words.
Yet it felt like the most packed keynote presentation that they've given so far.
Yeah, in the way of like that they've condensed basically what they would have done earlier over the course of maybe 3 or 4 years, they're doing it now in just 2. And maybe this is not the end of Phase 4.
Though now that I say that out loud, I kind of feel like I feel this way because of the fact that they have Disney Plus now, and that the stories in Plus are going to directly tie into the cinematic universe. Unlike with everything else that has happened in
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah, we'll get there. Unlike everything else in the TV universe.
Yeah,
it's
they
like
snubbed my TV universe.
They don't, like in previous CC presentations, they wouldn't, they would tell you about like the Netflix shows. They'd be like, hey, we have these 4 shows.
They wouldn't do it in the same panel.
But they wouldn't do it in the same panel. Yeah. 2, they wouldn't tell you about like Runaways. They wouldn't tell you about like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Nobody cares about those.
So now they're owning it, which is why, like, I mean, it's always been a cluster. The whole Marvel TV and cinematic universes have been huge, always.
That's because they were not in the same hands.
Now that they're finally together, like, we're all appreciating the overwhelming size of it.
It's good.
Yeah,
I'm excited specifically because Feige is talking about them personally. He has his hands in those shows as well, as opposed to where Netflix also had some, say in the matter, etc. Mm-hmm. But before we get to the Hall H panel, tell us, did you watch the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. panel? Did they have one?
Of course.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Yeah, no, what do you mean what's wrong with me? What's wrong with you? Tell me what happened in it. Give us the lowdown.
They were...
quick 60-second.
That week, they were filming the last episode. They just finished filming the last episode today. And the news broke that this next season that they just finished filming today, yesterday, I guess, what I'm getting at is, we're watching the ending of season 6 right now.
Right.
News broke at Comic-Con that the next season would be the last season, but they were in the process of wrapping up filming that season.
So did they know it's the last season?
They only just found out.
Oh, that sucks.
You kind of got, like, every interview that they gave was just like, yay, Comic-Con, but wow, this is really sad.
That's so sad.
It's like they didn't have time to brace for impact for this being the last Comic-Con that they can come to where they have something new to present.
But will they conclude the show then?
Yeah, it's wrapping up. Like they've
they've done it with the intention of wrapping it up.
Yes, they haven't been cancelled. This is something that Jeff Loeb was very persistent about. He's like, no, we're not cancelling it. We're ending it.
That's fine.
Which is great. It's like it's not like we fizzled out. It's like we realize that the story is now going in a certain direction. We just wanted to stop here because now we're just expanding.
Jishnu, none of this matters to me. There's only one question I have.
There's 70 years in the future. It all matters.
Okay, so this is my question. On Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., they could not address the effects of the snap because they didn't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And now tell me this. What the is happening in that universe, considering now that everybody knows the events of Endgame, and even more so after, Spider-Man and, Far From Home and everything, and the blip.
Yep.
So have they addressed that?
So here's where they're crafty with this.
Tell it.
They have been time traveling for about 2 seasons now.
Oh, God.
So, they are
So 5 years is nothing for them.
Well, that's the thing. Things have happened. They know that there's been a whole lot of destruction stuff all over, but they don't have a clue, but they're in the future. So they know that stuff happened while they did their jump. They jumped from present day to a couple of decades ahead. And they're like, yo, the world is a little weird right now. They're like, yeah, cataclysmic stuff happened. Cataclysmic stuff happened.
So they just had to be absolutely vague. You remember that time that thing happened? And
No. They don't know that it was one thing. They don't even know that it was one instant moment where the whole universe dropped dead.
Oh.
They just know that things have happened as things do happen. Their genocides happen all the time, unfortunately, all over the world.
Also, they're going to have more events between now and the time period.
Exactly, right? So therefore, the thing is, the current season is, I'm guessing, which is about to end, is going to, I would imagine, somehow bring us back to present day. And when season 7 happens, now that they've filmed the last couple episodes, at least knowing about the blip and all that, maybe they'll address it.
Oh, my God.
That's the thing. Their own story has always had to be we're fighting our own guys, and maybe we'll show you the newspaper in the background of the Battle of New York, As is always the case with Netflix as well. And same thing. It's
absolutely, I agree.
They'll be we'll throw a photo in for you to let you know they're in the same world, but they're not going to.
I'm fine with it. Daredevil works really well because it's insular.
Its own story is good.
It's only exactly.
There you go.
All right, I'm not going to disclose whether that's the case for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Having said that, let's get to the exciting part. Marvel's panel, Hall H.
Yeah.
Let's go through it.
I went through it.
No, we didn't. No, we started. Black Widow.
I said that. Black Widow.
Okay, tell me something. Are we excited about Black Widow?
Yeah.
I love Black Widow. I think her peak moment is in, and tell me if you have another one.
Go on.
But her peak, her role reaches an excellent moment for me. My favorite one was in Civil War. Right? Because the moment she kind of becomes a double agent there, I was just boom, that's my Black Widow. So good, awesome, and she's just cool, and she fights awesomely well, and she acts really well. Even though I love her turn in Endgame, especially those initial scenes with her and Captain America. But I felt the best version of the Black Widow is that double agent, the fact that she's you can't trust her, and she doesn't trust herself. It's cool. I love that version. And what I have heard about Black Widow is that this movie is going to be set it's not a prequel to the entire events of
it's post Civil War.
It's post Civil War and pre-Infinity War,
which is great.
Which is weird.
Great.
That's so bizarre.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Right. So good.
I would really if somehow. Man, do you want an Infinity Stone in this movie?
Do I want one?
So that she kind of knows that her demise is imminent, but she acts upon it anyway. That's awesome. Right?
What do you mean? Are you implying she sees the Soul Stone?
Here's my thing. I don't know how people are going to get behind this movie as excitedly because we know what Black Widow's fate is in Endgame.
Yeah.
So, to subvert that, is there a storytelling mechanism for them to kind of have Black Widow also know what the ending is? Because we also know the ending is, and that would make it interesting.
To that end, now that you say it like that, the worst case scenario is this ends up being Solo.
That is the worst case
You
scenario.
want to see the castle. You want to they're going to mention it's about Budapest.
Is it not? No, it's not.
It's not. In that they said you're going to find out about Budapest.
Oh,
right.
Okay.
I know. Exactly. Yeah. So you're
I told you this.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the Kessel Run all over again.
So to that end, I agree that Civil War Black Widow is the best. I think mainly because anytime, pretty much all characters in the MCU, I think, pretty much every single character in the MCU in the hands of the Russos and the Marcus McFeely writing team is my favorite iteration of those characters.
Right.
And Civil War, since it was in retrospect of Infinity and Endgame, less crowded.
Yeah.
She had more time to breathe.
Yeah.
Therefore, there was more room for her to do a thing.
Endgame, she's had her most screen time. Yeah.
True. But that was very, very, very specific.
But the things that all the scenes in Civil War, which are my favorites, of Black Widow. There's 3 scenes specifically I can think of. One is when she is at Peggy's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes to meet Captain
Yeah.
America, and she just says, "I just thought you needed a friend." Boom, amazing. Second scene is when she's talking to Tony, and she's like, "I think you need to like figure out which side of this thing you are really on."
Yeah.
And the third one is when she turns, man, towards like Black Panther, who's like coming away, and she's like, "Okay, go. You guys have only this much time. Get out of here." 3 amazing scenes, small scenes, but perfectly encapsulate the character from me.
Honorable mention is Ultron. Not shower scene with the Hulk.
Not shower scene with the Hulk.
I really like that one.
Yeah, I mean, that one's come under great scrutiny because people said, oh, he's like, oh, am I a monster because I can't have children? And then the internet was like set alight. And just like, oh my God, that's not what it means. But that's what it means. Oh my God, do you think that she's a monster because she can't have kids? That's dumb. I know Joss Whedon probably did not mean it that way. He's always written really strong female characters.
Yeah.
So that's why that one comes under a little bit of
I'll give it an honorable mention anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, moving swiftly. So after that.
So basically, are we excited for Black Widow?
Yes, so I'm excited for all of these things. Spoiler warning, I'm very excited. Okay,
cool.
All right, following which is the first Disney Plus show, Falcon and the Winter Soldier in the fall.
So excited. Oh my fucking God. I am pumped. It's great.
One of my favorite things, other than the fact that Zemo's coming up, Zemo's coming back rather, is that these shows, I don't have it in front of me, I can't see exactly how many episodes, but I know that a lot of these shows are
miniseries,
basically miniseries.
They're not going to be season based. I think it's just like a one-off,
which is fucking fantastic.
Amazing, so good.
Like, so good. One of my favorite things about, like, I can't get enough of Chernobyl. I mentioned it on the bulletin recently. I've been listening to the podcast, which is as long as each episode is.
Right.
So I basically am watching this show twice. What I love about that is it's a limited series, much like Band of Brothers. I miss seeing shows which are just drawn out for only as long as they need to be.
Yeah.
And are not just fodder for...
Man, then watch flippin' Daredevil, dude. It's perfect.
There. I know.
It's a perfect show, man.
I loved 1 and 2. I have...
3 is it's the best. It's the best one. Trust me.
I'm not watching anything Marvel at the moment until I do the
I need
Infinity.
I need a cleanse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Literally, I need to see Infinity and Endgame back to back.
Yeah.
And Endgame just came out on home release.
Yeah.
But it's not on 4K yet. So I'm like, shit, do I wait for 2 weeks?
I'm waiting.
I'm like,
I'm waiting to order the Blu-ray.
It's there. I have it. It's at home, but it's not 4K. And it was like, do I watch this? Do I not?
You gotta wait, man. It'll be good on fucking Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Cool. So Falcon Winter Soldier.
Very excited.
Super excited. Zemo's back. And
is Sharon Carter also going to be in it?
I don't know.
Because I remember
I haven't heard any word about that.
About it somewhere that she would be in it. That would be cool. And I like, I hope they make it like The Winter Soldier, the movie as in.
Oh, yeah.
Because I like that little political, espionage, intrigue, that kind of spy thriller thing that they had going for that film. I hope that becomes the dynamic of this film, of this series. Like, it would be really, really nice to see just the political machinations, or at least how the government is working post Endgame. That would be nice. Like, and have these two be like these vigilante or whatever, or post. They will be mentioning, I guess, what happened to the Superhero Registration Act, things like that. Post Endgame, that would be nice to explore.
That'd be very good.
Yeah,
because I think. Now that Cap and Tony are gone, like the spokesman are gone.
The G-Man, the only G-Man left.
And like Black Panther's probably back in Wakanda because he's like, I can, so I will. Doctor Strange is like, I'm too important for this shit.
Yeah. But he's always had immunity. Like Doctor Strange's character, even during the Civil War, the run, the comic book run, the only person who's got immunity from the Registration Act is Doctor Strange, because people just don't want to fuck with that guy. Yeah.
To that end, spoiler for Far From Home as well. I mean, with Peter Parker's identity coming out like that. When you think about it, like, people have talked about the fact that he's one of the... Is he the only guy that has a secret identity?
Yeah.
So with that cat out of the bag, it's like...
Do you think that they... they made the movies about, when they did the Superior Registration Act in the movies, it was just about accountability over... reveal your identity right now.
Right.
And Spider-Man being the only one who doesn't have an identity, that's a big part of his character. Though we have seen a lot of that.
What I'm getting at, what I'm really curious about, is the fact that he's the only minor, and he doesn't have a movie.
Almost?
I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure.
16. Yeah.
He's the only minor with his own movie. I'll put it that way, unless you count Groot. But my point is, he doesn't have a movie for a while. He's not mentioned in Phase 4. There are a lot of guys who aren't mentioned. And
he's going to be in hiding or something.
No, that's what I'm really hoping for, which I would put good money on, is the way he and Panther were introduced happening more often now in Phase 4.
That would be cool.
Where obviously the old cats come back whenever the hell they want, so you might get Spidey in.
I would love to see William Hurt come back as T-Bolt Ross in this show, man. I don't know if he's there.
I don't see why not.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Yeah, that would be perfect.
But what I'm saying is, he can show up in anybody's TV show or movie at any point, much like everybody else in the canon, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm also excited to see who the new guys are that are just gonna pop up out of nowhere.
You think they're gonna introduce characters that would make their way into the film, maybe?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they? Especially since they're breaking the mold and they're gonna really push the marketing for these TV shows as much as they've pushed the movies now, right? Yeah. They need to get eyeballs in, especially if they're saying genuinely the narrative in the TV shows impact the movie. Then you can't consume the movie without the thing.
Here's my question though. For the Falcon or any of these shows which have characters which have come from movies and are gonna go back into movies, wouldn't they have to end at some kind of status quo? What if flippin' Winter Soldier just dies in the show, alright?
Yeah.
And how would they explain that in the movie if people haven't seen? They would want to kind of keep a status quo of some sort so that they can return them into the films, into an Avengers film, etc.
Well, if you look at the list as well now for Phase 4, it's pretty all over the place in that there are, I count 3 returning characters who have their own movies: Black Widow, Doctor Strange, and Thor.
Yeah.
Who are people and whose cast in those movies we know for the most part, other than the new guys. Obviously, they'll come up, and then it's interrupted by 2 brand new movies, one of which is a team-up movie, right?
Yeah.
So the Eternals and Shang-Chi, stuff that happens especially in the Eternals has nothing to do with anything else, right? So
that's probably the point, yeah.
So let's say on the off chance that in Black Widow or in Falcon somebody dies, right? They wouldn't have to bring it up in the Eternals because the Eternals are completely... It's like Guardians. They're doing their own thing. Nobody cares, right? Shang-Chi, technically there's going to be some tie-in back to Iron Man. There's going to be some tie-in to Ant-Man. There's going to be tie-ins to things like that. That's where you have an opportunity to just casually mention stuff.
That's so weird.
But then you go to say Doctor Strange, and then it's the multiverse. Now, the fact that you have the multiverse, and it's going to be borderline scary, they're saying, that's where they can literally do anything, and he can, because he wants to, he can go back and show you that moment again. You can friggin' relive Han Solo's death if you want to. You know what I mean?
I'm good. No, I get it.
So he being that X factor is right there, and then you have Thor, who's then just all good times, and he's in his own
Exactly.
world,
I'm just curious as to how... how much they can do with these shows in terms of actual development, or maybe when Falcon comes back, is he going to be Captain America, or is he going to be is he going to be Falcon only? What's the deal? So I don't know how far they can take these characters in the show without...
I'll put money on comedy value of them fighting for dad's love.
Maybe.
It's two brothers being no, but I get the inheritance.
But he already got the inheritance.
Right, but... He's but he doesn't want it. He knows Bucky deserves it. Bucky's well,
that's not true, man.
You can be just remember the car scene when they kiss, when him and Sharon kiss. And just that. Just imagine
that's
that
the
for
whole show.
For 6 episodes.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah,
that's what
buddy cop
everybody
all the way.
wants. That
it's buddy cop through and through.
It'll be
it's
good.
Great.
Man, I'm waiting for the action will be legit. It'll be good. All right, we're gonna take a short break and then we're gonna come back to talk about the Eternals.
Hey everybody, welcome to another great week on the IVM Podcast Network. The greatest place on earth to work on. If you're interested in working with us, please do send us your resume, careers@indusvox.com. We're looking for people in business roles, we're looking for people in creative roles, we're looking for audio engineers, graphic designers, all kinds of things. So please do apply. Also wanted to ask everybody, please tell a friend about your favorite podcast on the IVM network. We really do depend on your word of mouth. You are our biggest ambassadors, and we'd really, really appreciate all of your support. Also, if you are enjoying what you listen to, take a screenshot, tag us on social media, and we will repost that. On The Scene and the Unseen, Amit Verma is joined by journalist Namita Bhandare to talk about the job crisis for women in India. On the final episode of the Ronnie Screwwala podcast, we do a Q&A where Ronnie answers questions sent in from listeners as well as other podcast hosts from the IVM network. On Marbles Lost and Found, Avanti and Zan talk to therapist Ishita Pateria about eating disorders and how to deal with them. On the Edges and Sledges Cricket podcast, Ashwin and DJ are discussing the women's and men's Ashes, the slate of cricketers retiring, India's performance versus the West Indies, Dhoni's contribution to the Indian Army, and a lot more. Last week we released the season finale of the first season of Equity Sahi Hai. Tune into the show to listen to fascinating and insightful conversations about equity and various sectors in India you could invest in. The last 2 episodes feature special guest Ramdev Agarwal, co-founder of the Motilal Oswal Group. Check those out to learn more about his inspirational journey. This show was brought to you by the Motilal Oswal Asset Management Company. On IVM Likes, IVM staffers Abbas Saishri and debutant Antariksh sit down to discuss their go-to pop culture during the monsoon. On our Kannada podcast Thale Harate, Professor Zabiullah and Shant Kumar Patil talk to Pavan and Surya about the Dakni language and its history. On 9XM Soundcast, host Eva Bhatt is joined by an Indian-Canadian singer, Jonita Gandhi. She started her music career by singing covers on YouTube, and they discuss her journey from Canada to Mumbai, people who supported her, and how one should deal with trolls and negative comments on social media. On Paperback, hosts Satyajit Roy and Rachita Sharma are joined by the writer and creative editor, Himali Kothari. She discusses the process of meticulously writing and rewriting a story. And with that, let's get you on with your show.
And we're back. We're talking about the Eternals. Jishnu, what do you think of the Eternals?
I like that I don't know the first thing about them.
Yeah.
The cast choice intrigues me much. I mean, as did the Guardians cast choice. It didn't make any sense, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah.
So I like that for once in a long time, Marvel's going to give me something where I'm just completely like, all right, show me what you got.
Yeah, it's true. It's actually a really fresh.
It's a great, I'm excited to feel that feeling again of just like going in blind.
Yeah. That and
being surprised.
Shang-Chi also.
Even Shang-Chi, being surprised at the word go.
Did you see that tweet of what's his name?
Simu Liu?
Yeah.
Which one?
It's brilliant. So it's literally like a tweet from December.
Oh.
Where he's just like, hey, Marvel.
Put me in the thing.
Hit me up if you're making a Shang-Chi film. I'm going to do this. Let's do this. And like he just retweeted it again now and saying, hey, cool, thanks for getting back to me. And he was announced. That's insane though, that they cast him literally only days before the announcement. Yeah. That's pretty daring, I guess. You know,
I would be more skeptical if Marvel hadn't won me over completely.
I know. They're so good at their casting. That's one thing they're like top notch at. So yeah, and the guy seems like super chill and cool and fresh, and I'm just like, yeah, okay, cool, it's fine. But yeah, man,
are you gonna read up on them? Are you gonna do the prerequisite reading? Or are you gonna go blind?
I always do. It's actually weirdly, Eternals may be the first thing that I actually have never read anything of. Like everything else pretty much I've read something or the other. Like yeah, pretty much everything else I've read like comics from the characters. But like Eternals I don't know much about. I don't think they're also like, I don't know how recent they've been publishing their stories or something, but that's probably the point. The whole reason why they took Guardians also is because they were really an old franchise, and then they rebooted it. And the reboot had some merit to it because it revoked some of the characters and made, all these guys like funny, and they put a spin on it. Mm-hmm. But Star-Lord is not at all like what he is in the comics. Like at least he was not funny or anything like that. But Chris Pratt kind of shaped that. Right. The point of them taking a property that people aren't familiar with is so that they can reshape it and remake it in the way that they want without upsetting too many. It's like, it's hard for them to take like, say, Sinister Six and now just do something really different with it and have a director's vision, right? I mean, you can obviously, but the characters are so, popular and people already know it, so you already have an expectation. Yep. So like Mysterio, they nailed because they just took it and went with what the essence of the character is about. Yeah. But for these, I think it's cool that they're just taking like stuff that we don't know about, making it how, like Kumail Nanjiani as one of the characters is obviously going to be funny. He's probably not like that in the comic, but they're just going with that vibe. Right. So it's cool. Yeah, I'm into it, man. Salma Hayek. Yeah. Oh my God. When they announced, I was like, oh my God.
Where have you been?
I love this. This is so good. I love it. And I love her. She's great. Amazing cast. Like, killer cast. All right. Shang-Chi.
So, not much to say about it, but we're all excited.
So this Shang-Chi thing is cool because of the 10 rings, right? Like the Mandarin thing. People were really pissed. I remember when Iron Man 3 came out and they dismissed the Mandarin and they said, yo, this is not the Mandarin. And why did you just ruin an epic character from the comics? Precisely what I'm talking about, Mm-hmm. So I think they found a way. I mean, it still breaks my heart that this is not Iron Fist and it's Shang-Chi. Like, but I've seen Shang-Chi before, so it's cool. But like, Iron Fist should have been this character, but they totally ruined that. Anyway, but I am excited about the Mandarin aspect of it. It just feels like this is just the spillover of all of Iron Man's problems. Like most of the Marvel universe has come out of the shitty things that Tony Stark did. Like most of Spider-Man's villains are that,
which I think is
really cool.
Which is great because like considering the funeral he gets in Endgame, it's kind of cool to like, for the post-mortem to be a little uglier than just like, let's toast to his good health and yay.
That's so,
it's just more interesting.
Also, which franchise gets to do that. Like, gets to do an entire run of a character.
Right.
The character is is retired or whatever, passes away.
Yeah.
And then you get to still dissect his, the fact that Tony Stark was an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, pretty much he was an asshole, and all his shitty things are now coming to bite the ass of everybody else who's still alive. And I love that's incredible.
I'm drawing a parallel to what I hope episode 9 is going to be like with Palpatine. All this stuff's been happening. I just didn't see it. That kind of stuff.
I just saw The Last Jedi again on Blu-ray, and man, it is still. I was meeting Kunal Rao yesterday, who's been on our podcast before, and he mentioned that he doesn't like The Last Jedi, and I literally just took his case the whole of. I was like, we can never do anything ever again if you don't watch The Last Jedi and like it.
He has watched it, right?
He
said he didn't.
Yeah. But I'm saying, dude, God. Anyway, but point is, I'm excited for Shang-Chi, specifically because, I think the Mandarin is really cool. I was okay with, Guy Pearce being that version of the Mandarin when he says, that I am the Mandarin, when he becomes this whole, what was it, the extremist kind of beast or whatever. I was cool with that, but the fact that they're getting a proper, version of the Mandarin. Did you ever watch that short, All Hail the King?
I've not.
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, I have seen it. So it was at the time they were doing the whole one-shot kind of things, which is cool.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple thing. It's about a Ben Kingsley's character going and, he goes to prison, and in prison he's threatened by the cult, and it says, the Mandarin didn't like what you did. And that's basically it. So it's cool that they are still kind of involving that aspect of it. That's cool.
Yeah.
So I'm into it. It's good. And it's going to be some sick martial arts. So, and I'm a big fan of that. Anyway.
There might be sicker in Black Widow, I think.
That's true. For sure. There's another Black Widow, so that's good. Yeah. So that's going to be good.
Okay.
Next.
Following suit is WandaVision.
This is really interesting because apparently it's going to be
weird.
A weird trip. I'm 100%.
I'm all in for the weird.
In.
I will admit that these two are not my favorite pairing. However,
Wanda and Vision?
Yeah, in that, in Infinity, well, they weren't in Endgame, but in Infinity, they were arguably my weakest.
Oh, I love that.
Chapters to visit. I just feel like they didn't get that much time for me to invest in it.
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
The movie starts, they're all in great, and then 5 minutes later, they're boom, now it's fight time, which
of course.
And it all works.
Man, I know.
Believe me, I'm not complaining. But
are you complaining about Infinity War? The greatest movie ever? No.
Here is what I am excited about with WandaVision. The fact that following WandaVision is Doctor Strange, and she's in both.
This is insane.
Yes, give me more, please.
So this is interesting. I thought of it for two reasons, right? One is where he says, if you have a wizard, you must have a witch, and here's Scarlet Witch. I was like, yo, this is mad fucking brilliant. All right, you're putting Strange and Wanda together. This is insanely new. I love these. I love the combinations that they do, especially in Ragnarok and things like that. But the cool thing is, I was like, oh man, is this because it's part of her contract that she needs to appear in so many films? And that's pretty much how Black Widow, I suppose, happened, because it was part of her thing, and they were like, okay, cool, let's make a Black Widow film. But they do good stuff, so it's fine.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's my first thought. Are they kind of, spoon feeding it?
I would go down that rabbit hole with you if it wasn't friggin' Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah, that's true.
If we were talking about a real freaking A-list person here, if it was Brad Pitt's joined, if it was Angelina Jolie, then I'd be like, okay, let's look at contracts. But it's freaking Elizabeth Olsen. She's like, all right, I'm going to stick with the multi-billion-dollar company. I'm okay.
Well,
but you want another movie? Sure, I'll do one. Why not?
Your take on an Olsen surprises me, considering you're a
they abandoned us. They're not on Fuller House, buddy.
I know,
so
but
screw the Olsens.
Are you a Fuller House fan or are you a Full House fan?
I'm a Full House fan and a Fuller House fan, but there's one missing link.
It's undeniable, though.
These two. The link is broken.
I agree.
The chain is broken. What the hell, bro?
And this is a sister.
So, yeah.
But I love Elizabeth Olsen. She's great.
No, she is great. She is great. But I'm just saying that, for somebody of her stature, I really don't think she's got the clout to be but it's not in the contract. So you got to, pay me more.
Oh, no.
If she was a Brad Pitt, if she was a RDJ, then he could be all right, you gotta earn me. But with her, you know what I mean? You gotta pay up or get out.
Yeah,
that's it. And that's how they work.
Yeah.
But with her, it's kind of I'm going to stick around for another multi-billion-dollar thing.
Absolutely, but they are... No, I'm saying in her contract, I meant for her benefit. She was like, I I want to be in these films, and you have to put me in one more film, and thus.
Okay, should we look at it that way? Then yeah, it's like I would imagine when she signed up, she's like, she signed in with Ultron, right?
Yeah.
So at that point,
this is why I think Benedict's also getting another film in this phase, right? It's been a while, but like I suppose in their contracts they're like, we have to get a certain number of films in a certain number of time, like in a certain period of time. That's probably it. Like, it's cool. Why aren't we getting? Well, I know why Guardians is not happening. It's because he has to do Suicide Squad. But like, there are other films that could have happened, like Cap Marvel, 2, whatever, could have happened.
And they are still happening.
Yeah, it's just
Just not in 2 years.
Dude, I'm not complaining. I'm so happy. Dude.
More than enough,
the
man.
Multiverse of Madness may well be one of the greatest titles ever given to a fucking film. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I'm in, man. It's cool. I was just trying to get to the mechanics behind it. It's fine. It's good. It's good. It's cool also because everything that we see of her in that film is going to be directly after this TV show. So that's going to be cool. So I'm excited.
Following suit, before Thor.
Okay.
Is Loki.
Oh, it's Loki. All right. Okay,
what do you think?
No, I thought it was Hawkeye. All right.
Oh, you're right.
It's Hawkeye?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, cool. I may be the only person who is insanely excited for Hawkeye because everyone hates Hawkeye. I don't know why. People are idiots. What am I supposed to do?
Still?
I mean, people hate him.
Really?
People think he was terribly miscast. Huh? Reno. I fucking love Reno.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He does
so
whatever
good.
he wants. He's a rock star now.
He is.
He sings
Did you see his entrance?
bad songs.
Did you see his entrance
He
in the
had
thing?
the best entrance.
He had a freaking wrestling entrance.
He is. Reno does whatever he wants. That's what I'm saying.
He's real life James Bond. Because he carries himself as such.
I know
and he just kicks ass and takes names.
I love that.
And he plays tag with
Tag.
with
That's the Hawkeye
celebrity
solo
friends.
film that everybody wants. Have you seen it?
No, I need to. Should I see it? Have you seen it? Yeah, it's good.
I mean, watch it if you want to see the Hawkeye solo film.
Can I watch it sober or is it recommended not?
It'll just breeze by. Okay. It's so light, but it's funny, and I love that he's a bad musician. I love it. Yeah. I love that. He's a good singer.
What was that song?
Songs.
Oh, Songs.
Yeah. You know how he's released his music, right?
I've just seen the one random
with
video.
Jeep, the car.
The Jeep?
Yes, Jeep. It's called Summer of Jeep. And he's releasing songs. He's releasing his music with a brand, which is fucking amazing. It's great. I'm very excited about it.
This is because his contract is not as long as the other guy.
His contract is probably like, do whatever you want. It's fine. We love you.
It's like cool. we'll fax you when we get to it.
It's amazing.
You do you.
I love this. I love the Hawkeye series that is going to happen.
We don't know much about the show though.
We do. We know that it's going to be about Kate Bishop and it's going to be like
anything else?
Yeah, based on the comic book. It's even the same logo, man. I love that logo. That's good.
Do you know much about that run? I don't know anything about that run.
No, I have not read it, and that's probably a shame.
Was it written post MCU both, or is it pre?
Pre.
Okay.
I believe. Anyway, but the point is that it's supposed to be excellent, and if they're adapting that comic, that's great. And here's the thing. I love Hawkeye. You know why I love Hawkeye? It's simple. It's in one scene, man. In one scene where he's with his wife in Ultron, and he has the best of Ultron. Like he has some of the best moments in Ultron, right? Yeah. And it's that one scene where
Whedon nails family, man.
Yeah, of course.
And
he's family.
He's the family.
Yeah. So he's with his wife, and she's just like, I just see you with all these gods. And he's like, well, that's how it is. She's like, no, it's scary that how much they need you.
Yeah.
Boom. Hawkeye. It's the solo series.
Technically, that's Linda more than Hawkeye.
Yeah, I know, but saying,
hey,
you nailed
that's his vibe.
That's
more of that
the
vibe.
Story. That's the thing right there. Boom.
I have a feeling it's. I might have read this somewhere.
I
have a feeling it's going to be like, kind of like Taken.
That's so good.
Meaning, not like you stole a person from me, I need to win them back, but it's like kind of like, man, I was doing the family thing so well, and now Endgame happened, and everything's gone tits up, and I went on a murderous killing spree.
He's a murderer.
So he's kind of like, I foresee a redemption kind of a thing for himself of like, I'm both the most down-to-earth family man in this entire gang of nuts that's in the Avengers.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm also arguably one of the worst because I have straight up murdered people.
Yeah, he's going to be Ronin in this.
So,
which is interesting.
There's a lot to play with.
Good.
I'm excited.
This
could go any number of directions.
This is my favorite series. I'm already the most excited for this. All right, but here's the other thing. I lost it. Hawkeye is amazing. What do I say?
Loki, then.
Loki. All right.
So this is where things get interesting. This is where timey-wimey things happen. This is where people could be... I see potential for this to... I mean, it's obviously going to be
It's a Doctor
great.
Who. It's Doctor Who, bro.
But so to that end, like, it's obviously because it's Tom Hiddleston and it's Loki and people love him and they love the
He's
character.
good. I do love him.
It's going to sell amazingly well. However, this is the one where I feel like things could get arguably a little conflicted in your Reddit threads because of the fact that it's basically the What If series.
I was just going to say
but
that.
not
They should
the
have
What If
made this
series.
What If.
Yeah, I don't see why. I don't see the difference here, but I mean, I'm down.
Maybe we don't know what it's
exactly.
about.
There's all kinds of potential here because you're doing timey-wimey things.
And
when you're doing
contract.
timey-wimey... What's that?
It's in his contract.
Yeah.
He's got to do it.
Okay, so let's just differentiate the two. So What If is...
What If it's like the comics, man? It's one-shots.
It's
It's
literally...
Elseworlds. DC's Elseworlds.
So it's going to be a bunch of standalone episodes, I guess. A bunch of standalone episodes where they just say, what if this happened, and you see that happen,
Boom,
right?
yeah, zombies.
Yeah.
Marvel zombies.
Cool.
Love
so
it.
what if the Battle for New York happened in Bombay? Cool. And that's an episode, right?
It is, and it should be.
So the Loki story takes place in a parallel universe right after the Back to the Future Loki from the Battle of New York in Endgame steals the Tesseract and disappears.
Yes.
So he is still bad guy Loki.
Yeah.
He's
not grown.
He has not grown. He still hates everybody. He still wants to rule the world.
Yeah.
He still has a Thanos as well, then I guess.
I suppose everyone
that he
in any other universe there would be a Thanos.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's still under Thanos' grip is the other thing.
Unless the snap erased all Thanoses.
Well, this is pre-snap. Because he's he deviated from the timeline. That's what I mean about this getting a little.
You know what would be amazing? And here's my theory.
What?
The show ends with him disappearing into a multiverse kind of thing, and then he reappears in Doctor Strange.
Let's do it.
And then
Let's do it.
he's in Thor:
Let's
Love
do
and
it.
Thunder.
Let's do it.
Let's bring him back. Let's bring our boy back.
I'm all for this. I want nothing more than to see every TV show and movie ending with an exact Force Awakens ending.
Yeah.
It's like this scene happens and it ends. You're like, what's going to happen? And then the next movie, which has nothing to do with it,
Which is weird.
You see your characters land up in that exact same scene.
Because
let's pick up where we left off.
The show is picking up exactly where the movie kind of left him, right? He's literally going to just jump out of a thing and start.
Absolutely.
That would be
So,
cool. I'm into it.
I'm all in.
I love Loki. He's arguably the best villain in the MCU.
Let's go with that.
Yeah.
And then we have Love and Thunder.
Love and Thunder.
Everybody's talking about it.
Cool.
Jane Foster's back.
I'm not the biggest fan of Ragnarok, as I mentioned.
Likewise.
I love it. It's sometimes get too silly for me, but I love Taika. It's good.
Yep.
It'll be great. It'll be funny.
It'll
be light AF.
pretty good.
Pretty funny. Jane Foster.
Jane Foster, thoughts?
Boom. I'm into it. I love Natalie Portman. Shit.
Did you still love her before this was announced? Like post? Like how did
I always loved Natalie Portman.
How did you
one
receive
second.
the scene in Endgame? When you saw her in Endgame?
Yeah, that was not her though.
Exactly, but when you watched it, did you go like, how awkward did you feel?
I didn't know. I felt awkward because I was like, oh, I felt it was cool because if they actually amended things with her to enough to get her back to shoot, I was like, oh yeah, but they didn't. But then they announced her. I was like, oh, maybe it was her. That's cool.
What do you mean they announced her? Like after the...
I'm saying now, but they announced her. I was like, oh, they've...
Right, no, yeah, so what I mean is, how did you feel pre-Comic-Con, having seen her being in Endgame but not being in Endgame? Like, just in general, like, I
like
love this
it.
guy, I kind of don't like that movie, I love this person, I don't like that person, where does Natalie Portman
in
fall
the
into that?
same way that they made the Dark World relevant in Endgame, Jane Foster's role in those first two films were just basically, it's just a love interest, which has no depth, right?
Yeah.
But it would be really cool now, since she's been there from the beginning, there's an arc there to follow, and they're giving her now her major role, which is cool to see. And I would like to, man, she's Padme, dude, I can't not like the woman.
I really like her, but I will admit that I thought it was kind of funny, and it's just in the vein of the company just getting so huge and like everybody wants a piece of the pie. So she's like, I guess I'll do a multi-billion-dollar franchise now.
No, but she can. She's a multi-billion-dollar
Absolutely.
woman.
She's amazing. She's an Oscar winner. She's great at what she does. I just found it. I was just like, oh, now you come crawling back. Okay.
Oh, like that.
Like that.
Well, they didn't do her justice, man. So she had no reason to.
They didn't. But it's kind of like...
She's like...
She was one of the first person to get on the lifeboats. When we're like, no, the ship isn't sinking. Believe us. And she's like, no, Thor 2 sucked. I'm out of here.
No, but yeah, she
was
had
like,
no
stick
reason.
with it. And now Endgame happens. Dude, now I'm back.
But here's the thing. Yeah, well, no. I mean, she wouldn't have come back if there wasn't a good enough role for her. And that's fine.
Yeah, that's, of course.
I'm into
that's
that.
Everybody's going to say
it's okay, man. You didn't treat Idris Elba. Idris Elba was great. I wish they had more of him.
Yeah. He did just like, same with Anthony Hopkins, like just enough.
Man, Anthony Hopkins got one of the best parts. Anyway, listen, I'm fine with Natalie Portman coming back. This is what she deserves.
I'm very fine with Natalie Portman coming back. It's just that I will reserve a slight chip on my shoulder for like, it's you. Okay,
no, but it's the other way. It's the other way around. It's the other way around. They were like, hey, please come back. We'll make you Thor. And she's like, all right, sure.
That's what I mean.
That's what, of course. Yeah. Otherwise, there's no point in her being Jane Foster. There's no meat in that role.
Yeah.
She's the Black Swan.
Okay, the final thing I'm going to say as we wrap this up is they haven't mentioned him in Love and Thunder, but if she's back, we haven't seen Skarsgård, Eric Selvig, in a long time.
Yeah.
Now the fact that Hulk has calmed down and Bruce Banner and Hulk have merged.
Hey man, I want to see Hulk somewhere.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking of who they haven't mentioned that is still around. Where are they going to pop in, right? So now, considering Ant-Man is also like the most important guy in Endgame.
Yeah, where's my Ant-Man 3?
He's not mentioned at all. So factor in. Things have gone tits up. The blip has happened. The world is upside down. Multiverses are popping left and right. There's a freaking Loki anywhere in any dimension at any given time with a Tesseract. Yeah. Anything can happen, right? So, to maintain some semblance of order, you have Falcon and the Winter Soldier, who's probably going to give us a political stance on like how the world's governments are working. Yeah. There's no mention of Black Panther in this yet, so we don't have a clue how Wakanda is dealing with this because they were ground zero for Infinity War. Now, the other thing I want to know about is just the general science of the world and technology. We've lost Tony Stark. We've lost Tony Stark, so we don't have him. We don't have... Spidey has got his own problems now, so he's in his own world. Yeah. So who is our guy that is going to be the brains? Now, Hulk.
It has to be Hulk, yeah.
It's Hulk, Ant-Man... Hank Pym, I guess, is still around.
Hank Pym probably,
if Jane Foster's coming back, Eric Selvig, I think, could be a everyday average man, like guy in the chair. You need a guy in the chair, and I feel like Ant-Man and Hulk are two big fish now, considering that they rule the day.
Or maybe it's Jane Foster. Hello.
Or that.
She's the nerd in these movies. At least that's what they claimed for her. But she didn't really get to nerd out as much. Yeah. Boom. There you go.
That depends if we stay on Earth, though. For that
also she's going to be Thor. Yeah. But anyway. Let's conclude this by saying Mahershala Ali got a promotion. He's Blade.
There's not much to say.
They have to get Wes back in it.
We should make Geek Fruit hats.
He has to. We really should.
We should make Geek Fruit hats.
By the way, we've totally ignored some emails that we will read out next week and thus declare the winner of the Geek Fruit t-shirt.
Is it a polo neck?
No, I mean it could be.
Is it a button up?
No.
Is it a poncho?
No, it's just a t-shirt.
Is it a raincoat?
It's a t-shirt.
Is it a banyan? Is it a gunji?
Stop. That's the same thing, by the way.
Is it a vest?
All right. If you guys want to win, this is your last chance. Tell us what you thought about and give us your best theories for the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 4.
Is it a jumpsuit?
Contact geekfruit@gmail.com.
Is it a lab coat?
We're on all socials at geekfruithq. And he's done. All right. See you later, you nerds.
Swim trunks.
Are you looking for India's most awesome cricket podcast? Are you now tired of listening to the same old guys drone on about cricket everywhere? Edges and Sledges is a weekly cricket podcast hosted by three fans of the game, Varun, DJ, and myself, Ashwin. It was established in early 2018, has over 60 episodes now, and is of course now proud to be on the IVM Podcast Network. Each week, we get together from 3 different time zones, the USA, the UK, and Singapore, and we talk about things from the world of cricket, with a focus on Indian cricket. We often interview special guests from all around the world, including former cricketers and cricket media personalities. So check out Edges and Sledges, the cricket podcast, now on the IVM network.
Hey guys, this is me, Eva Bhatt, your host for the podcast 9XM Soundcast. This podcast is produced by India's largest music network, 9X Media. We have been catering music and you have been enjoying. And now we bring you a podcast where music inspires. Every week, I interact with some of the best minds from the music industry to understand their creative discipline. Every new episode will feature artists who will share inspiring notes from their journey, some valuable tips for budding artists. So do subscribe to the podcast where music inspires. Enjoy a brand new episode of 9XM Soundcast every Tuesday on IVM Podcast app or website or wherever you get your podcast from.